G'day everybody, welcome to today's stream. I'm your host Mitch, you can call me Taz, and a bit of a funny stream today. Now, I may or may not have flown a 777-200, and I may or may not have made a thumbnail, and when I made said thumbnail, it might not have taken like 20 seconds to make, compared to the multiple moments it takes for me to make a normal one. But it's bloody funny, I will give it that. Reddit does not approve. Hey Asim, how are you? I'm very much ready to knock over some bakery trucks, especially if they've got a few croissants today, because I love myself a really good croissant, like a really good pan of chocolate. Today we're starting down in Chicago O'Hare, and we're going to make our way up from Chicago, just a short flight over to Newark. Both sceneries are default, and that is the best Alan Parsons Project album ever. What I'm going to do, let's get this pre-file. I'll get some notes written down. Profile, cool. So, today we are United 546. Get the sim open. Let's get X-Pilot sorted out. Perfect. So, that is going to be a little interesting because the engine type, and this is actually why I went with United over, and this is where it doesn't actually match up with the real world, is I'm using the 777-200, but the reason I was using it is it's an excuse to use the Pratt & Whitney engines. Don't mind me. Awesome. Okie doke. So yeah, so we're using the Pratt & Whitney 4090 engines. So something a bit different because they're really the oddball when it comes to the engine types. Isn't that what I connected as? 546, yeah. So yeah, so flying out from the beautiful Chicago here, and this is where Map Enhancement Pro is doing a brilliant job. Doesn't look like there's any other traffic. I wonder why. Oh no, apparently it's the United flight either taking off or landing. Oh no, look at him. Let him go. How's he going to do this landing? It's going to bloody float it is what he's... Oh jeez. Actually, yeah, given that the altitude difference between probably our sceneries, because we are actually using default today, but for a default scenery, it's looking bloody good. So he's probably done a good landing. Anywho, I think it is time we get started. Let's sim this cockpit. Let's make sure auto exposure is actually working. Come up top, and Diru, emergency lights, window heats. Apparently always stay on, you never take them off. External power, primary and secondary on. APU gen apparently also stays on. Let's get our hydraulics on. Get our fuel. And seatbelts and no electronic lights can come on. And we are all set in that regard. So, Diru's got 9 minutes and 26 seconds to go. We'll get our FMCs up. Pause in it, and we're going to go Kilo Oscar Romeo Delta. Beautiful. Should have really just put that over. There we go. And we'll go to route. While we're over here, let's get our Navigraph services. We're going to get our data. And while we're getting our data, we're going to switch this over to UAL 546. Beautiful. And we'll connect. And we've got it. Beautiful. Initialize that flight, so when we initially do our transfer from the EFB onto the FMC, the flight plan will be there. Now that we're already here, let's go to airplane, we'll go to weight and balance, we'll fill from sim brief. Got a CG issue there, so we will optimize. Pretty much a full flight today, got a few seats that are open. And we'll go to our loading page, and we're going to get everything loaded. I'll happily take the extra 2 tons of fuel. And while we're at this, let's check everything else. So ground services, we obviously have our gate and chocks and our ground power. Weight and balance looking all okay. Doors 1 is open, but the gate doesn't want to attach apparently. And the freighters are coming up, so gotta wait for those. Seeing as we're in America, let's get our radios on. Get 122.8 as our background, and then 121.5 normally is our CTAF. Actually, let me double check that. We'll go over to VATSIM radar. There we are. Let's see. CTAP exists and most people use 122.8. Pretty much everyone is on Garb. Little weather on our way to Newark. But we should be fine. Awesome. So while we get loaded, let's come over here. Cool. And we'll get our CTAF loaded. Our weather. So no wind, 10 statute miles of visibility, a few clouds at 2,000 feet, broken at 2,500, 07 degrees with the 00 wind chill, 299 is 0. Let's bring this down. 299 is 0, turn to, awesome. So that's all sorted. We'll come over to our departures, and let's see here, we're departing runway 22 O'Hare, go there. So depart 22, out, which is our runway down here, out of 22. And then direct to one of the, well, to Dent, I believe. No, to Duffy, which is down here. So, cool. So that's written down as well. Takeoff obstacles. 2 to left. Can't depart 2 to right. Okay, so for 2 to left standard. Ground speed knots. 215, need to go at 200 feet per nautical mile, so 833. And our top altitude is 5,000 for this initial climb out. There's Duffy, so that's where we'll depart 22, which I'm going to guess is this one, and then come out. We go over to maps. IFR low, coming within 2,000 feet should actually tell us. Yeah, as I thought. So we'll taxi via, let's see, I'll actually use the secondary page as a reason. So we'll taxi via Alpha, Bravo, no, Alpha to Victor, vector all the way through. So Alpha, Victor, Victor 6 November. And then hold short 22 left. Cool. Now that we're here, still waiting for data link. 10 seconds to go, and then we should all be sorted. Awesome, now that's sorted. Route request. Request is sent. Give it a little more time and we should be able to get our route up. There we go. So we'll load that route in. And we'll get United 546 just loaded in. Very nice, we'll activate that. Execute. Let's go to perf init. We will be 187 on the gross weight. We're still waiting on load. Yeah, 186,265. About 1 ton lighter than what we said here. Still got quite a few passengers left. Okay. So we cleared initial 5-5. We're going to taxi out here. All the way to 22 left. And 22 left. Straight out departure. Which, given that we are at 777, definitely will not be an issue. Oh, that guy's already disconnected. I have to say the ortho looks, that's really good quality. And mind you, this is combined with a default airport, so not too bad, not too bad at all. I also indicate to everyone that there is crew in the aircraft right now. It's only 7:40 in the morning over here. Ooh. And on the Discord, if you'd be interested in talking planes, trains, whatever, we do actually have a channel Discord linked down below, and little floosh, very nice 727 there, sir. That's beautiful. I do need to fly the 727. Hey, and Stacks is flying Sim across Europe, I'm gonna guess, because he's carrying an elephant. Jeez, Floosh, what's that approach you just did in the 727? Bit of a gnarly turn there. Very nice. 727 definitely does rule. That's the thing, where Dad lived in Sydney is you always had the 727s go over, so that's why his favourite engine's the JT8D. A few more people left. Once we get the checklist open here. Send and flight instruments heading altimeters set. Altimeters are set. And our heading is going to be Choo. Awesome. So pre-flight checklist done. Flight deck door. And we'll come to locked. Seatbelt signs set. Doors and windows are not closed armed yet. So we've only got 13 passengers left and we will be fully sorted. Newark, awesome. Let's see what runway it's given us. It's given us 22 left, but that's obviously the wrong runway for what we're going to be doing today. 276, beautiful. So we can actually get all cabin doors closed. And we'll automatically arm those. Get the APU started. So you've still got the zinc plug-in glitch. Unfortunately, but they should be sorted any time soon. Because apparently it's already sorted in some version. But obviously with this beta, it's just not happy. And we will push back onto Charlie.
Grounded cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Awesome. Doors are closed and armed. Checked MCP. It's checked. We'll go with the performance here. We do need to go back. 186 is a runway rate, so 169.5. Our ZFW and our reserves are at least 2 tons. Cruise altitude for today's flight is going to be 410. And we're at a CI of 17. Let me double check, is that sure? 17, yes, sure is. Thrust limit for takeoff is going to be, gonna guess D rate of 1, no, D rate of 2. With a temperature of 50 degrees, we will then go up to climb for the climb, and flaps 5 for departure, which gives us 119, 129 for rotating, V2 of 141, which is within 5 knots of the Scenery profile, and our CG is 32.5% of the mean aerodynamic chord. So well within parameters, which means a level 3 of trim. That's which we should come up there. Perfect. So that 3 degrees of trim is set, and V2 speeds are set. MCP is set, and altitude initial 5,000. Takeoff speeds checked. Pre-flight is checked. Trim is set to 3 units, and yeah. So taxi, we're going to taxi via Alpha Victor 6 November, and for the takeoff, we'll depart 22 left. Fly heading until at least 1,000 feet before we turn our right turn to Duffy. Your left hand seat takeoff. In case of a engine out emergency, we will continue the takeoff roll if it's after V1. Take her up into the air, and then come around for an emergency landing. If it happens before V1, we'll stop on the runway. That sounds all good. That sounds all good. Beautiful. So, taxi and takeoff brief is done, and beacon light by this point can come on, and we'll start pushback.
Grounded cockpit, toes driving up.
Chicago ground, g'day United 546 at Concourse Lima, pushing back from Lima 8 onto Charlie facing east. Doesn't matter, it's transmitter, I just saw it on X-Pilot. Yeah, get some dome light on in here.
Okay, all doors, hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
A little dark in this cockpit, but beacon lights on, nav lights are on, so all the required lights are set. And we'll make sure the gate detaches. Be careful of that engine. Awesome. Obviously got all the good wing views. Pratt & Whitney 4090 engines, haven't used them. I use them extremely rarely. Last time I used them was with the ANA 777V2 that we used on our Japan flights when we went down to Fukuoka. That was a gorgeous flight. I'm going to come back to this page.
So connected, bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake.
Doing a sec. Transitions 180. Okay, cool. Parking brake can come off.
Starting pushback. Go ahead, start the engines.
We'll start checklist complete. And we'll start with engine 1. $100 achieved. Just looking down, I'm like, hang on. Why is that definitely not supposed to be there? And I don't know why the air conditioning is always bloody opening. There we go. And fuel was already introduced. Actual results, g'day. Yesterday our stream was in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But yes, predominantly X-Plane. X-Plane for the flying and Microsoft Flight Simulator for the visuals. It doesn't really come along when you are flying at night like we were. Okie doke, engine 2 can start coming up. So we have a good start on engine 1. 100 on the N2. Good sounding engines. Similar, g'day, it sure is a 777-200. The difference between the PMD 777 and the Flight Factor 777 is one's developed by PMDG and one's actually developed by a team that won't rip you off. I've flown both. The PMDG doesn't feel as good. The FMS is a little more complete, but it doesn't feel nearly as good. And we'll come to flaps 5 as well. Alright.
Operation complete, set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow, stand by.
A very pretty plane if he had actually got me where I needed to be. The PMDG flies worse, and that's just down to the fact that it's in Microsoft Flight Simulator with the physics edge and all that. The 777 in X-Plane performs with, and that in terms of like FPS and all that sort of jazz. But that's because PMDG are absolute, if not wizards, when it comes to performance, especially with the stuff they have in the MSFS. The flight factor, flight sensations are better. This is why when people own this plane, they rave about how
Tow is disconnected, bypass pin's
feels
been
to
removed.
hand fly,
Hand signal on the left, she's all yours,
and it
Captain.
comes over in an intuitive way, or a way that suggests to you that it's more realistic. I wouldn't say X-Plane's so ugly. The art styles are different, and that's why I always argue. MSFS goes for a better than reality visual style. X-Plane goes for a realistic art style, and that's the difference. Just look at the clouds. The clouds right now are a lot better. Oh no, they're not a lot better. They're a lot more realistic than what you would see in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I actually taxi out of Victor 2, Victor, hold short Victor 1 for 22 left. Yeah. Bravo, Victor 2, onto Victor, hold short Victor 1 for 2 left. Chicago ground, g'day, United 546 taxiing via from Concourse Lima, Foxtrot Bravo, Victor 2, Victor, hold short Victor 1 for 22 left. Let's go. Those engines do sound good. They definitely updated them in the time that I've had. Well, I first flew them when it first came out. Anyway, poor taxi. Anti-ice not required. Actually, it's below 10 degrees, so actually we'll set it auto, but there is no visible moisture. KORD checked auto brakes, RTO, flight controls. Well, brakes is definitely checked. Full left, checked. Full right, checked. Full elevator. And elevator down. Back to neutral. Full rudder right, or left, and full rudder right. Perfect. If you don't mind me asking, what's so complicated with X-Plane? So we get flight directors and AT armed, flight controls are checked and free, ground equipment was clear, and flaps 5 already set, so before takeoff checklist complete. Oh, Sumo, 100%. And that's the thing, it came a long way in last year alone. Nothing else, just last year. What's your tips to only airlines and X-Plane 12? I enjoy both, have a lot of fun. I'm so first time in X-Plane 12. X-Plane 12 is very much its own product now. It used to look like X-Plane 12 for X-Plane 11 for a long time. Thankfully that has actually changed. When it comes to X-Plane 12, it's better for VFR flying. Well, let me put it this way. You can download VFR mod packs for a lot of regions in the world, completely for free, by the way. So you can get a really good VFR experience. Combine that with like map enhancement or ortho, which are free, which gives you orthogrammetry. It can look actually better than Microsoft Flight Simulator, because Microsoft Flight Simulator tends to just delete. It just tends to delete a lot of stuff once you go like outside of 5 miles of the scenery terrain, of the terrain tile. When it comes to airlines, it depends. Like when it comes down to basic systems, if it's Airbus systems, Tolis is way better. Graphically, they are very bad. When it comes to Boeing, I prefer the Flight Factor 777 any day. Like, it's not even a question. It's just so much more better. And we discussed in a previous stream, it's if you got all of the 777 that we have available in X-Plane from Flight Factor, so 777-200ER, Freighter, and the 300ER, and the engine mod, it is still $60 cheaper than PMDG, and that's without, that is without the 777-200LR, and it's also without another very important thing, it's without having to buy the Boris audio pack. Hey, hold my brakes here for a sec. X-Plane is actually a lot easier to set up, but I can say that because I've set it up quite a few times. But it's definitely a lot easier than what it used to be. Middle config, need to compromise some graphics settings. What graphics card are you using? Anywho, because no one uses this runway for landing, let's get lined up. O'Hare traffic, g'day, United 546, lining up runway 22 left. Clock on. Lights on. Strobes coming on. And transponder TARA. Awesome. Also, you don't have to spend $40 for a really good camera setup because X-Plane's cameras are the standard. I swear, since this update, they've the exposure is just so much less by not standard. We're gonna do get that music taken down for a little bit.
On runway 2, left.
2 left, that's checked and confirmed and correct. That's another thing. We have VRAS built into this plan. You don't have to pay for it. Hey, doke everyone. I'm ready. Are you ready? As I say in one of the best movies of all time, I'm going to ask you, perhaps for the Empire, consider liking the stream. Have a subscription just so you can see a bit more. And if you want to chat with a few more people of like-minded statures, get onto our channel Discord, linked all in the description below. Now let's go to that famous movie quote. Punch it, Chewie. Oh yeah. And engine stable, toga. Also, taxing in this game is so much better. Get it back on center line. V1. Continue. Rotate.
3,000 feet remaining.
Positive rate. Gear up. Beautiful. Pretty much get chase plane for free right now. Just climb on up. Come 2,000. And we'll go legs. Go direct to Duffy. That's our left-hand turn. And our VNAV comes alive. Oh yeah, traffic at United 546 past 32,500, direct to Duffy. Get that nose down a bit. Water brakes already disarmed, beautiful. Now let's put that up to 410. Also don't need to pay for a G-loaded head subscription because that's built into the game as well. And that maintain that LNAV line. Keep it set on the flight director. Speed check, flap smart. Let's now actually come over. Auto exposure please. Speed check, flaps up. Just gonna be slats over here. Look at that engine bloody bounce around. Lovely. And maintain this heading till we reach Duffy. A little bit of a tailwind pushing us right. There's no worries. We'll take full advantage of that tailwind once we are up at altitude. Beautiful. And I'm happy autopilot coming on. We'll move heading around to where it should be. Beautiful. Check the chat. But my point is only now focus and enjoy the flight because the end of the day is going. 100%. They're both games. One's made for Xbox, one's made for PC. And that is a direct thing to Fleesh. Me, best of us is fusion of Microsoft and X-Plane. Depends. If you want a more realistic simulator, you go with X-Plane. If you want to go with a better than reality simulator, you go Microsoft Flight Simulator. When it comes in terms to, say, simulation quality. Now look, I'll give a simple example. What's the best Airbus add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator? The Phoenix A320s. The Phoenix A320s don't even use the physics engine for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They outsource it. Floosh, in terms of flight simulation, yes, but as someone who grew up on Xboxes, I love my Xbox. Enjoyment is definitely more important, but it's how you enjoy it. What do you enjoy? I enjoy the hand flying. I enjoy the actual flying characteristics. Visuals, it depends. There's some times where X-Plane looks magnificent, looks true to life, whereas Microsoft Flight Simulator I find it a lot blurrier. The textures aren't as crisp as X-Plane, and that's because it's trying to run for an Xbox. Well, I recently upgraded to a PC. I use a Radeon Sapphire RX 9070 XT, which is on par with the 5070 Ti or 10% slower than a 5080. It has 16 gigs of VRAM, 32 gigs of DDR5, 6400 MHz RAM. What's a cool logo? I've got an AIO, and the reason I got this build was because the AIO, because I eventually will upgrade to a Ryzen 5 7800 X3D, like one of the X3D chips. And I also have a Ryzen 7 7000 CPU. So really good system. But that's something I will give Floosh. PMDG might be a let's put our name at the end of every message we see so they can ban us quicker. PMDG has great performance and they deliver a solid product for a lot of money. But let's look at the comparison. Any builds, same amount of money, shit performance. It's some of the worst performing aircraft I've seen. Like, it's horrendous. Exactly, Floosh. No, Great Lakes now. Know that I don't have to spend an extra $40 just for a flyby camera. Past 10,000. Don't realize it's all coming off. And this is what I'll say. In terms of Microsoft Flight Simulator, when you buy the simulator, you get the visuals out of the box. In terms of X-Plane, you get the systems out of the box. So that's what's more important to you. Is it the scenery, or is it the simulation? And on top of that, when you look at the freeware side of stuff, I would argue X-Plane's got a much larger freeware catalog, because we can use all of the X-Plane 11 sceneries in X-Plane 12. So, a lot of which are free now, so you can get some high quality stuff, but you don't have to pay for it. Alright, 18,000 now, so we can come out of standard. And we'll start heading over to 09293. Over Chicago. Oh, 100% in that case, action. If I understand you correctly, it's best to have access to both simulators, MSFS and X-Plane. That's what I do. I fly my 777s, my big airliners in X-Plane, and then I'll go fly a big AE 146-200 or a Cessna in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The only reason I do that though is because Just Flight hasn't updated the 146 for X-Plane to the V2 quality that's in MSFS 20, 20 and 24. That's really the only reason, but it's a really fantastic aircraft, and it's one of the aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator that hand flies really well. Taxiing in that game sucks though. I can't explain it enough how much I hate taxiing in Microsoft Flight Simulator, because they don't model ground physics like at all. But when it comes to ortho, look at that quality. Now I want you to go on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, fly at that same altitude. How much of that simulator or the ground is that quality? I see another airport, and you want to know something with the other airport? Let me zoom in, because my zoom isn't limited to 50. Wow, the runway is fully loaded in. Now, why on earth Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't keep all the airports fully downloaded is beyond me. Gorgeous. Look at that ortho quality. I am near max settings, hang on. So textures maximum, ambient inclusion I keep to medium, anastrophic 8x, anti-aliasing 2x, MSAA, clouds high, shadow quality medium, water object density high, and the medium for vegetation density, and rendering distance, because you don't really need them much higher. You put these higher, you shave 10, 20 FPS, and there's no real need for it. But what I will say is I did note there's a little performance hiccup when I started up, so I would say perf is a little better. And then if I'm off streaming, so it's hovering around 50, 56 FPS right now. For me right now, normally it'd be around 65, 70. This is without frame generation, by the way. Awesome, so we'll go to departure arrivals at Eval. get our charts up right now as well. Now, I did a little test flight earlier today, flying into 2.9. She's a little nippy, I'll say that. That's what I will say. Hell yeah. 16 knot crosswind, that's what I want to see. It's the Anav Yankee, isn't it? Yep. Cool. Yep, that looks on point. Hey, doke. So, going 3 with the SLT transition. We'll go ILS or RNAV into 2.9. Is it whiskey? Or is it which one? So we've got any better options? Yeah. Might actually go RNAV 2.9 whiskey with the pattern transition. There will be a discontinuity, so SLT. So from sweet to pattern. Pattern to sweet to pattern. Delete there. There we go. Extend this out. There's our top descent point down there. Still climbing up, so we will be above the weather. Imagine getting this for free. Still sitting high on that FPS as well. If I had 2 dozen roses. There we go. Any traffic on our outbound leg today? Don't look so. This map. All these people coming in for 2.9. I wonder why. Oh, all these people going into JFK, they're going to Kennedy. Why you want to go into Kennedy? Oh, here we go. This guy's diverting down to... No, he's going to go KDFW. Gee whiz, why were you abandoning Newark? Yes, given our... doing our escapades when we come in, so we're going to go to our performance calculator. We are going to Whiskey Romeo. That's our takeoff performance, show landing. Here we go. Another thing, I can type and it doesn't kill everything. Both runway 29er, flaps 30, and will be off. Condition is good so far, is what I've come to understand. We'll look into it. (190.13) gusting 20, 10 statute miles, Q110, Q140, scatter 180, broken 220, 17 degrees, 2983, Mark 2s. Okay, cool. So good runway, so it's pretty much dry. There we go. Brakes, we will set for 3, wind. I trust my good old Avitab. 190.13. Just use my keyboard to type that in. And outside temperature right there right now is 17 degrees. It is a QNH. 2983. I will actually have to 1010. At a VREF of a 13 knots, so we'll go 6 knots added VREF there. And our landing weight, what are we expecting? 7.9 tons. We're at 13 tons right now. And our ZFW so 169. .5. I'll add 7.9. We'll actually be liberal with it. We'll go 7.0. 176.5. Calculate that. Landing distance be 1,888 meters. Approach is 138 knots. Cool. And 429. It's K-Boss, you idiots. There we go. Success in 29, work on 2980. Winds 21029. And whiskey 429, let's see. There we go. Runway is 2,050 meters long. So 2,050 meters long, and we're still going to use 1,888 of it. Oh, it's going to be a little difficult. 7,000 byte crank, that won't be an issue. Max 210 knots by Azeco. We will come up to Patron from Sweet. So Sweet north to Patron, come down max 23 knots. Azeco, come down to Axel, and then we'll hand fly to No Way. Then in, minimum height will be 1,600 feet. Seeing as we'll come in at 160, we'll be around at 849 feet a minute. Okay, so go around. Just climbed 2,000 on pretty much runway heading, and minimums or decision height is 880 barometric. Awesome. So that is all set as well. Beautiful. Look how good that ortho looks. That's gorgeous. Be right back, everyone. Alright, alright, alright. I am back. 8 oaks, so not too bad. Top of descent coming into view. I say that. Still got about 200 miles to go. Just over there, so let's say 300. VNAV. Page. I always forget where to bloody start your descent. On the prog page. In here? Ah, it's just winds. And 8 tons of fuel expected as Echo Whiskey Romeo. Optimal flight level will be 400. We're at 410, so definitely not an issue. ED80 is 7029. VA is finally neutralized. It's our forecast. So load this in. 250s, 41s. Oh. That definitely needs to be on. Awesome. Definitely need a logo light, given we're above 10,000, but we've also got some lightest and, well, actually very beautiful weather being up here. Get some notes read. We're using ATIS. Let's see, ATIS. Gusting 29. No worries. 21 degrees Celsius, so definitely no need for anti-ice once we get down there, so we will actually turn all of these off. So about 49 minutes to go. Ugh. So, I should actually start asking you this, guys, more often. What do you want to see on the channel? Like, what are there any sort of flights, something like a new product that's come out that you really want to see on the channel? So I'm open up to all exceptions right now. What I definitely want to do is by the L1011 eventually. Been considering doing Spirit operations, you know, a bit of a dedication flight dedicated to all those Spirit guys. So doing the Spirit like A321 Neos around the US. So it was like, oh, that could be an option. Definitely Melbourne. The update for Microsoft Flight Simulator regarding Australia is pretty cool. All I say, I'm very interested in it. How would you use that if you've got? Oh, that's a plane I would love for one of the Sims. Is a Saab 340, but a good one. I wonder why on the X-Plane subreddit people are flying the 777-400 more. So I've got a few people here that are flying the 767-400. Interesting. Cathay Pacific 777 Ops. Got a stream coming up in the 777-300, so keep an eye out for that one. That's going to be a really fun stream, I think. Liam Al, who painted the livery for the flight, our first flight up to Prague in the 777. He's painted another one that was like, oh, that's phenomenal. And he suggested another flight, and I'm like, oh, done that flight myself personally, so we could definitely do that. This Nathrok's definitely really interested in his L1011 that he's developing. I think it's going to be freeware regardless. The way that thing looks, let's just say I'm going to be very excited for that one. $160 miles for a October 7. Oh, Phantom 300, I haven't flown that in a while. This guy's flown into Bern. Oh, cannot wait for the CIS Piper Chieftain. That's going to be bloody awesome, that plane. That's probably a GA plane I would actually fly regularly. I've always liked it. I think it was for me the most vivid memory of the first aircraft I saw my father fly for a job. Those clouds. Oh, Conti, another content creator, posting photos for the 5090. That looks fantastic. The old Dash 8's doing. I haven't flown her in a little bit. Might have to. She's a very, very fun plane to fly, but definitely needs a lot of monitoring. I'll say that. She's very hands-on. There's clouds. This is gorgeous. How many engines are a little different though, little buzz boxes. I don't mind it at all. How are we doing down in the chat so far? How are we preparing for this landing? It's also something you can't beat with X-planes, just these clouds. Since 12.2, the clouds are absolutely fantastic. What I'll also do, we'll get the weather radar on, and because these are looking decent enough, stick that down for a little bit, bring that in, so yeah, about 70 miles to the top of Sin. If I bring this down enough, dogs test on. Yep, I've ruined the system. I'm going to bring that up to 0. And that down to -4. Yeah, doesn't look like we've actually got that much bad weather. What we will do though, we'll bring this down to around 2,000 feet. Don't have tower, so it's not a issue. We do have these clouds. You could actually just fly the simulator just for the clouds itself, because they look phenomenal. seen a guy almost about to land in Newark, as we're about to do as we start our ascent now. Singapore to Newark. He's just about to finish that flight. Singapore Airlines 22 and Singapore Airlines 24 is about to finish their flight from Singapore to Kennedy. Holy moly. Oh, look at these clouds. What am I going to do? Nope. I'll send that off. Might make a stay. We'll see. Ooh, that sounds a bit different. Funnily enough, these are United Q7200 ERs. The G90 variants actually fly all the way to Brisbane, which is a ridiculously long flight. Bit of turbulence there. Get around your seats. Guys, cross sweep at 7,000. It's higher at 190, and that's and then cross sweep at 7,000. So we'll go legs. Where's sweet? Oh. Zero 7 0. Yep. We'll spoil the reaction out, taking this descent down a little quicker. definitely some bumpy weather right now. Lovely. Jeez, how's he died? It's nice one, isn't it? That's so devastating. It's only relatively young as well. But look at this soup we're going down through. Actually, switch up this anti-ice stuff onto auto. Definitely, whether we need to be advisory of. Look at that. Beautiful. In the soup. Get right back, everyone. Let's come out standard very soon. Look at that, weather radar is picking up some returns out there. 2980. Slight silent to the other side as well. Set auto brake 3 already, so we can. Love Avatab, it just works so well, and it's responsive, which is, I think, for me, is the biggest thing. The more spoiler out, why not? Got a lot, bit more drag. Will be higher than 7,000 sweet, but that's not really an issue. So auto ATC features not too bad though. ETA about, now I'd say like 10-15 minutes until we're on the ground. Because we are doing that turn north now to Patron. You're looking out and saying all that, jeez. Jeez Louise. Yeah, descending to 880 feet, so we're actually this one. There we go. Hello, mate. You okay? Looking at the camera is because of the light. There you go. Good one. Hat has been secured. And still descending on through. Singapore Airlines is already on the ground down in Newark, so that's not too bad at all. Double check VATS and radar, just make sure we don't actually have a tower frequency online. And X-Pilot's picking up no frequency active nearby either. Now we're gonna switch over to 118.3. Which is the Inuit Tower frequency. Let's double check everything. KORD-KEWR. Their spoilers in. Newark traffic at a United 546 is inbound for the Arnav Whiskey for runway 29, ETA 1420 Zulu, so about 13 minutes time. A little rain off our that's something I will also explain, is the immersion is definitely a lot better, especially with all these rain textures. Nice visual with the ground at this rate. 293. Oh, attempts all looking good. We'll come over the checklist. Sends record notes have been taken. Auto 83. Landing data and VRF speed were already set. Checked. And approach has been briefed. Awesome. 2 meters 2980. Second cross checked. And we'll actually get our back up as well. Set as well. Checked. So the landing checklist is next. Fuel, we have a total of 8.9 tons of fuel. So that's not too bad. What are we at over here? It was like 7 something. This won't be an issue. We've been our path. Going, sort of see the ground now as well. So yeah, start coming through the haze. Look at that. Does the Pratt & Whitney engine sound different? Beautiful. At least we got through that cloud. Let's get all our landing lights on. Light us up like a Christmas tree. Actually still get the logo light on. Dome light. It's already on. Let's just go to show. Get our panel floodlight on as well. Awesome. Light deck doors on deny. And all of our checklists until approach checklist is already complete. Occasional streak of water. Did I just see a police car? Oh yeah, there is. That's a domestic airport, or general aviation airport. It's out there somewhere. So I will note is the auto exposure since the latest update's been really dark, but then again it is really dark outside as well. Miles to Patron. Speed check. I'll get flaps one out. So that would just be the slats. Beautiful. So that just applies some more drag. Means that when we do eventually get up there, we will be a little slower. We're going to do main cabin. Lit up like a Christmas tree in here. It's lovely. It was actually a night flight. We'd chuck the ambient lights on. Definitely don't need the weather radar that puts that down that much. Actually chuck it up a little bit. 2 dots here. That could actually be traffic, but that's not on our current way. Turn in. Bring speed down now. There's New York out there. If I go into lower lure, macros, auto view distance, I'll throw that out a bit more, like that. There you go, that's what you guys all want to see. New York in all its glory. Speed check, flaps 5. FPS is going to love me now. Yeah, that's absolutely shockers. There's the Empire State Building. Speed down a little bit. Cool, we've met our speed restriction. Bring that AVD just in a little bit. And now it's just going beyond the city now. 5%. Cool. Good looking bloody photo though. Speed check, flaps 15. And about 3 minutes ago. Newark traffic, get a United 546 inbound for runway 29 via RNAV Whiskey, ETA 3 minutes, 1419 Zulu. I see the airport over here already. There's our runway we're landing on. There's a little bit of traffic down there as well. Yep, got an A321 something down there. All the fun stuff. Look at that. 32 FPS coming over New York. Looks rather bloody busy. That does look really good. Ah, Madison Square Garden. Which I actually know from Billy Joel of all things. And there's the Statue of Liberty. Coming flaps 20. And ref 127, so we'll bring that down as well. 20133. Have it all set up by this point. Let me get gear down. About 1,000 to go. Landing lights all out. And speed brake to arm, auto brake set. And flaps 30. Tight the chat for this one. There we go, that's where we're flying over to. Beautiful. Traffic, get a United 546 on a final base turn for runway 29. My aircraft. A bit of wind. A significant crosswind component when we come around. That's something we definitely don't want to do.
Project minimize.
Let alone, don't want to be high. We don't want to land on this runway a bit too early. Well, we don't want to land too late. Minimums, cross-checked. 4 whites. So still going to descend down a little bit further. Newark traffic, United 546 short, final for runway 29.
500.
2 reds, 2 whites, that's where I want to be. Here we go.
400.
Approaching 29.
That's cross-checked.
6,800 feet available.
300.
That's checked. Three reds, 1 white, that's what we want.
200.
We're here for the photos.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Beautiful. Get it down. Nose wheel down, bit violent. That's what you need for this runway. Versus 70 knots, reverse coming in.
3,000 feet remaining.
Let her break off. Hope you can be started.
2,000 feet remaining.
Awesome, flaps up, spoilers in, auto brake disarmed. I'll vacate off the left. That everyone, welcome into Newark. Awesome, strobes coming off. Turn off lights coming off, and lights coming off. Newark traffic, g'day, United 546 is vacated runway 29. Yep, knew I was going to say something about the V-speeds. Come over here, let's come over to maps, let's center that on ourselves. I'm going to come over to Whiskey 2 onto the Yankees. We'll park ourselves around here somewhere. Ah, that looks on the photos. Taxi via Yankee. So now it's intersection. Romeo Lima, it seems. Romeo Lima. Alpha, cool. Yo, traffic, g'day, you know, 546 taxiing via Yankee, Romeo Lima, Alpha to the stand. The works is coming off. Lights are off. APU is running. APU bleed can come on. APU gen is already on. Beautiful. I wonder what's going to take our fancy for our landing today. So we've got a British Airways one's coming into one to the right. That's KJFK. That's the wrong airport. Here we are. A little bit of traffic on the ground down here. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I think we'll come over where the Singapore Airlines is. Which, yes, is a national terminal. We almost just need something for the size of us. Actually, there is a big stand out there, but oh well. They'll look cooler. Isn't this the airport that guy got yelled at? The British Airways? I seem to vaguely remember that was here. For a default airport, it's not actually that bad, is it? And to be fair, one of these stands, this one's probably got my name written all over it. Stand 56. That's the international terminal out there. That's pretty much built for us. We could probably fit stand 55. Where the hell's the gates for 777s? Because these all look small. We'll just go over here then. Yeah, Terminal A's got our name on it. So we're on 350. Oh, it's just disconnected. Looking forward to this replay though. There's New York out in the distance. Actually, now that I've got New York working, it'll be very, very much worth the time maybe flying into KJFK. Bit of across the pond action. Alpha 10 to the south. Newark traffic United 546 taxiing via Alpha 10 to the standard terminal A. Let's turn here. That looks like we've got traffic over here now. Yeah, these stands look far more sufficient than the stuff over here. That thin air. Oh, that's up Fly Naz. Huh. I only heard about them in the last 2 days because someone mentioned that this specific airline has 747. And Stand 17's got my name on it.
Your traffic, United 4459 is at 895. Pushing start, facing east, taxiing Kilo Sierra, Romeo to 22 left for red directed departure to BA.
If they get any stand help. No. That's a bit Devo. Text light comes off then. And hold the brakes. Brakes set, APU is running, APU blades on, APU gen is on, and it's coming off. Oh, that's a bit intense. Cabin, disarm doors. This off, and get beacons off. Ground connects, go away. Yeah, we're a little big for the stands as well. Where is the big stands at this airport? Because they all look bloody minuscule. Guess you could use this one, the 26 whiskey, to get both. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see? It's like a diagonal game for everything. But yeah, well, welcome down to Newark, everyone. Runway, well, that landing was a bit heavy, but you need that when you fly into here. Yeah, I think what this calls for is a bit of a replay, so let's get our favorite app up. Let's bring her back. sure the plane is fully configured. Let's not have a helipad as our beacon. Let's bring this over here. I think staying on one of these buildings actually might be beneficial for us. If you go down the sidewall, you'll find Props Mainland and Lamina Heights. Not too far away from trouble. There we go. Beautiful. Very windy, but that was all about tail work there, given the 19-degree crosswinds we pretty much had. Thankfully the gusts weren't too bad. Oh, that come in. Well, enough of the highway. Ah, we could have got lower there. That's pretty standard there. Remember, I didn't want to go far. Bam. That's pretty much perfect for where I wanted to touch in. This yellow marker. So you have that displaced threshold. You also have that much of a crosswind. Gee whiz. This yellow marker, which is basically the hold short line if you're taxiing the other way onto runway 22 left, that's pretty much where I wanted to stop beforehand. I think I decrabbed really well though. Bang. Pretty much on my touchdown point, so I can't be too disappointed with that. Beautiful. Trying to reverse and get her stopped. Yeah. It's our first Auto Brake 3 landing as well. And look at that New York out in the back. It's we'll do. Get back in here. Let's oh, that. Now that's what you call graphically intensive. On the other side, yeah, pretty well. We're very, very, very rainy conditions. Have to keep that in mind. Statue of Liberty out there. So that's just how you know, oh, you're so close but yet so far, and you've still got like 2 hours until you can actually get to New York because of the breach. Steady right hand turn in. Did lighten that turn up as we came in. It's just more about getting the just better visual with the runway itself. Because if we look now, yeah, should probably flew out straight a little more, come over the bridge and use the bridge as our crossing point. Not a bad job. Speed management was pretty good as well. I think by this point I just take manual control of the throttle. I was just like, okay, time to slow it down. Do need to fix the sounds for the being in it. Just look at that engine bloody shuddering around. Over that highway, kissing a few trucks here and there. Bang. Looked a little violent, but my app is telling me around 280 feet a minute, so not too bad. Bit firm, but cannot complain with that. Anywho, everyone, I'm your host Mitch. You can call me Taz, and I'm very bloody tired. But I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I'll see you next time. where we'll probably do something dedication to Spirit Pilots and go from there. We'll be putting out a post soon, so you can vote to see what you want to see on the channel. And with that, see you next time. Ciao, ciao.